So once we know the basic routes how to define, you have a lot of other things in routes to handle. Of course, we can implement this in our example, means basic route. But we need to know a lot of other things like child routes, how to define outlets, how to use various hooks in the routes. We will see. First, with this basic, we can implement our basic example. What is our basic example? I told you that we must able to open a page. In that, user must able to see login registration. User can register, login with our API data. Up to this, we will first implement. Then we will go nested. How to create nested parameters, how to handle them, right? Let's implement this. That means we must able to implement what we designed up to now in a simple. So for that, let's do one thing. In this now, we will create a separate folder. We'll close all this. We'll maintain a separate folder. So yeah, in the source, I will create a folder as iShop. iShop is one folder. Okay. I will give you a sample documentation. You try that. Means complete scenario. Actually, when I will give you a better IEEE project, right? See, I will upload a documentation. You see it. IEEE Explorer. Explore. Okay. IEEE Explore. Yeah. So this is actually IEEE official website. It's taking a while. Yeah. In this IEEE means I am taking a IEEE standard project. One small project I will show you. You try to implement it. Means basic I will show you. You must able to design that interface. Okay. Actually, on IEEE Explore, so many projects are there. So I don't know why it is taking that. I will upload a document to you. You can go through it. A shop, right? Yeah. Actually, this is the sample project documentation. So this is the sample project documentation. This I will upload. You can try this. What we will actually, this project contains, this is a simple shopping online, right? In this project, actually it contains all the project information is here. It contains 9 modules. Yeah. Where is the module information? Yeah. This is modules. This project contains 9 modules. We have registration module, browse products, search products, and you have admin, shipping and billing module, vendors module, shipping module, all this. I hope they have their sample website also. Yeah. So you can see That is, I think it's not working, but a sample site is available here. It is no longer available. Fine. Means a design. In this IEEE, you will find so many iShop. Means you can find all IEEE standard projects here. This is iShop. A project is there. And this project related information I showed you in PDF actually. This is shopping. In this actually they used backend MySQL database and server side they used PHP. In the front end they are using jQuery. We will use React. Right? In the front end we can use React. And in the backend already our database is MongoDB. And our server side is Node.js. Now what we will do is we will try to design that project. Means with the help of, actually it have 9 modules. I will upload a sample documentation about it. Actually their sample site is not working currently. Otherwise you can see their sample site. Sample site, how it looks like. But now you can design by your own actual. Generally, I will upload a document to you. This is a document. In this document, I will mention about what modules we have to design. You read it. This is a simple project document. In this iShop, it is a project document. And in that, I given data models, what tables you have to design. Database tables, what you have to design, with what fields you have to design, I given here, right? And at the here, how to create an API for handling requests. And here, so this is all the API requests. And in React application, you have to install all this. And we need to build a project. I already given a sample code also. Right? I given a sample code also with complete functionality. You must able to achieve this. Understood? You must able to achieve this. That means here we have to use this interface. We have to use this. So technically you can means this example completely looks like this now. So in this example, you have an option called register login, right? And dashboard. And very important, admin can watch this dashboard only after login. But login can happen only when registered. So you have to design this interface. Okay, then we can go further. Internally, how to use the navigations and all, we can see that, right? So generally, this is the complete example you have to implement, right? This is the complete example we have to define. So let's try this basic first. That means what is our basic design? We have to create this document. I will upload. You can go through that, but I will show here, right? What we need to design is we have to create an interface for all this. So let's create here. First, I created a separate folder called iShop. And what we need as of now. So I will create a new file, iShop index.js. This will be the startup page, right? Okay. After that, I will create a file, iShop home.js. That is home.js. And we will create 2 more things. Another file, iShop login.js. Okay. And another iShop register.js. Okay. One more. So iShop dashboard, right? dashboard.js. Actually, I will give you one more idea about how to create good dashboards. This is very frequently asked for experienced people. So if you go to interviews as React developer with experience, they will give you tasks like design a dashboard. That right, React based dashboards, we have to depend on third parties and we can create good dashboards, because anybody, even customer also, customer, admin, manager, anybody logs in, first he will be landing on his dashboard page. In the dashboard we will put all the details like summary, whatever he want he can choose. Designing dashboards is one very frequently asked one. Suppose I say Telerik, you see, Telerik is a third party, as I told you. In the demos, you can see React demos. I will go to React demos. In the React demos, you see here anywhere they given a dashboard, right? Dashboards, ready-made dashboards are there. Suppose I will search here React dashboard. So yeah, so you see a sample dashboard design is there. So they will give you a simple dashboard design. Yeah, these are all third parties interface. That means actually in that any sample screen is there or not, we'll see. They just give an implementation of that action. It is loading here. Yeah, actually dashboard, it is taking time to load all. Actually dashboard comes with so many interfaces. Actual I hope you have seen so many dashboards, huh? Like financial dashboard, interactive dashboard. This is tutorial actually. Example is there. This is the example we are having. Yeah, you can see the dashboard's appearance. It looks like this. Let's open in a separate screen. Yeah, so you can see the dashboards usually looks like this. This is how a dashboard looks like, right? That's how a dashboard looks like. These kind of dashboards are very frequently asked in a React based environment, right? For experienced people especially, they ask. Here you can do a lot of things. So you can toggle only what details you want, right? You can display only what you want. Designing such interactive dashboards are very frequent. These days websites need good dashboards, right? But we depend on several third party. But in third party also, how to implement you have to know. We will try that. So one small simple design we will create. Okay, so that is the dashboard. So dashboard should not be accessible until or unless he is registered, login successfully, right? And we must provide the facility of login and sign out. Until he sign outs, he can access the details without logging in again and again, right? Once he sign out again. Now let's design this entire screen. Remember, this should work with our database and APIs in the background, right? Let's design. First, all libraries are ready for us. So just we will design the iShop index, right? We will design iShop index. And this in this iShop index, so we will import. So browser, we have a browser router and routes, route and link from React router DOM. We'll do that once that is defined. Okay, next another option. This is basically first enough. First, we will design a function export default function, and the function is iShop index. Let's say iShop index. That's the function. It should return some container here, class some container fluid. Okay, and let's create a design header, and I will keep here a heading. So iShop, right? Online store, something like this I define. So class name, I just give BG. So danger, text white, text center. Okay, and padding 2. Okay, this is the header, and let's add one more margin top. So 2. Okay, and below this header, we have a section, and this section contains the class name and margin top 2, and it is row. Okay, in this section we will create one is navigation bar nav. This is a, and another is main. This is the main content, and in this navigation bar, so we will design the links. That means I will create an simple div, and let's add a link. So link is the element we need to define, and link usually have options like home, and link have an option. This is one. Similarly, another. Actually, for links, we can give a link appearance. Yeah. So register, and we are giving login, and we will give dashboard, right? Like this, we are defining. Now, what should happen? So this navigation should display all the content in the main area. So all this part in the section, we should enclose in browser router. In the browser router, we are configuring all this. Okay, browser router is having navigation. So this navigation we will put in class called call3, and this main we will put in the class called call9, and here we will keep the collection of routes. In the routes, we need to define the route here. We need to configure the route. Basically, first we will design basic routes, but for that we need to keep all others ready, right? So let's keep iShop home. So it is export function. So export default function and iShop home, and it is a function. It should return a simple presentation. In this, we will put as shopping home, and here we have to create so the links for navigation. That means I will create a link from router. This is the link from router, React router. We are creating a link, and this should ask option like register. It should go to register. So here we will say new user register. New user register, that means it should navigate to. So which path it should navigate to register. Okay, but it is not here, right? I will keep a span here. So, and pipe, and I will say link. So this is login, have account, right? So say existing user, then he will navigate to which location? Login. That is just a link we configured there. Okay. So that is shopping home. We have this. Now, similarly, we have to create login registered dashboards. So first point is whenever user access, let's go to iShop index. In the route, what you have to define is if route path is empty slash, then what element we have to render? So we have to render the element called iShop home. iShop home must be rendered. So if user is not requesting anything, it should render that. And if user clicks home, then also home should come again. Then what we have to do? We have to define another route. This route again, it should be path. If it is the path slash home also, that means if it is home, if user is request just home, then what element to render? Here also it should render same iShop home. That means we have to render in two occasions. One directly, another one is when you request that particular home. Then I have to get it because anytime they can go to home again. That is the path we have configured. Now we will keep this in the startup. iShop index is in the startup. So I will put iShop index in the startup. So we are accessing that iShop in the startup. Any issue? Other links are not defined now, right? Now we have configured only this. What about other links? Let's go to iShop index. Yeah. Here other links are not defined. That means this link should be to. So link should be to. So it should be to which location slash home. It should be slash home. Let's cut this here. Now that home is ready. As of now, that home is ready. That's home is ready. It's there. Only one option is here. Right? So what should happen now? We need to get that and display here. The other links also we have to configure. So where is this default path is not rendering? Right. So now what should happen when user clicks new? It should navigate to register. This should navigate to user, right? The login page. And here also we want some other options. So let's design others. What we have to do, index, go here, show home is ready, and we have to create login. So initially first we will create export default function. What is it? Login, iShop login. iShop login. Okay. It should return a simple login screen. I will just initially put login, right? User login. Okay. Later we will design. I will similarly create another page here. Yep. And here I will define iShop register So register new user, right? So new user, this is the screen. Okay, dashboard also. So here I shop dashboard, and here I will say, so user dashboard board, like this I define. Now all are ready, means just only empty screens are ready. Now in the shopping index we have to define like this. If the route path is this, right, and we are accessing that element, and others also we need to define what is it. So the route, and the route path is, so this is login, then element is we have to access that iShop login element. We have to import that. Another option, so we have another route, and route path is register, and here element, and this is sorry, element, and this is iShop register. So import this. One more dashboard. So route, so path, and this is dashboard, and here we have element, and it should access iShop dashboard. Okay, all these are ready. All the links are configured, and here we need to create those links. I will copy this. I will do one thing. So I will make this appearance look like a button. That means what we will do is, here we will configure the class name as BTN and BTN danger like this, and W100. So that looks a button. Yeah. Class name as here margin bottom 2. Now you can copy this. You can see that is the home button, right? It's a link, but we are giving the behavior, means appearance like a button, right? Okay, next. So I need other. So here I will give the name as register. So, and here we will give register, and here another I will give as login, and here I define as login, and one more here dashboard. So I define dashboard, and here we configured as dashboard. Okay, so these are all the options. Now I click on register will come, login will come, dashboard will come. The basic interface is ready. Now until user is not logged in, this dashboard should not open. We will do that. For that we need cookies. We will create cookies and configure that. But initially from the home page, he will click on new register, then it will get registered. Now, so he won't login, he will get login. Okay, now first we will create a registration form. Now what should happen? User should able to fill in the details, submit, and after submitting it should navigate to login. So here the challenging point is, means the concept is how you will navigate programmatically. Navigate manually with the links we are doing, but situation wise navigation should happen. That means if login is success, it will navigate to one page. If not, it will navigate to some other page. How you can handle the navigation dynamically? Actually, this is one important point for us now. That means here the question here is how to navigate. how to navigate to any specific path, dynamically. How to navigate to any specific path dynamically. So statically, how you navigate to any path is using link. Link is used for navigation. Actually, in early versions, so we can do that by using use history, use history hook. Now we have the hook called use navigate hook. Navigate. Actually, use history is very common hook. By using that, we can navigate. For example, see, I want to navigate on a button click, suppose, right? So see, these are all links only. But what I will do is, in register form, let's go to new user register. Where is, I go here. What I will do is, I will just to show you the concept, I will put a button. I will say go to login. Now the point is, on this button click, it should go to login. If it is a link, it will navigate. But on button click, how it will navigate? So that means for this, we have to write a function that is handle login, handle button click. Okay. And here I am using on click. On click is equal to handle button click. Now, how to navigate? On this, I will just have to navigate. Then actually, we have to import from React router DOM. Actually, we have a hook called use history. Use history is a hook. Now, in this function, we are creating a constant history is equal to use history. So I am just creating a variable let history is equal to use history. Use history is a hook action. This history hook can use an option on button click history dot. We have a push method. Push indicates what you want to push into history. The path. The path is slash which path login. This is the path you have to push. That means on login click, actually, so you see use history. So it is having a problem. Because actually the problem is nothing but this use history is no longer available. Is no longer available in the latest version. It is available in up to version 5. Up to version 5, you can use that use history and handle it. Even I showed you a document now. The document with all the project contains V5 related options only. So you will see there I am using use history. That in 5 I will show you. But in the latest version, this use history changed to use navigate. It is changed to use navigate. That means now this use history is changed to, we have a hook called use navigate. We have a use navigate. That means we have to use the hook called use navigate. And I am just referring as navigate. Now what this navigate is having is navigate is a method. You see it is using to. That 2 is actually what navigate to. 2 is link to, na? There is a link to option, right? It is link to. That means to which one? So you have to define that link to what. So link to which one slash, what is it? Login. Link to login. That is actually navigate option using. This login will go to login. Dynamically we are navigating. Earlier this we have to do using use history. Now in the latest version it is everywhere, almost 89 99% wherever you see React projects, even online tutorials and everywhere you will see, means if it is not v6, everywhere all sample projects example you will see people using use history, but that is up to version 5. From even up to even in version 6 also it was there just 1 month back. But now a minor release have been introduced into routing. In that minor release, they removed that use history, which is now replaced with use navigate. Even in 18 also, so minor releases changes will be there little bit. That and router is completely independent from React. That is the reason even React version is not improving, router versions will be changing. You need to keep updated with router separately. That means you cannot wait for a React version to change. Even React version is not changed, router may change. So because router library is a separate library, which is independently built by a community for React. Due to that, without changing of React version, router version may change and router features may change. That is the reason you should be very careful in updating yourself with every new thing coming in. Okay, right. So I hope now you understood how to navigate to dynamic. That means what we have to do. So we have to use. So syntactically, we have to import. We have to import use navigate. Use navigate. So from React router DOM. React router DOM. And after that, you need to create an object navigate. Uses the navigate hook. Navigate. So through the navigate, actually you can have the path. That means the path you have to configure, and optionally you can use to path, but in that path some parameters need to be passed. Then how do you pass parameters also into that path? That for that we need options. These options are completely optional, but they are used when we are using any parameters and child routes. We have to do that. As of now, just you can configure the path, right? Okay, once you know this technique how to handle, later we will implement this, right? This is not we have to do now. Form, we need to design a register form. Let's do how to create register form. You know what else you need? You need a formic, na? Use formic from formic. So and what else you any state? We need to post the data only, na? So we can post the data by using, we can post the data by using Axios, right? That means we will use Axios from Axios. We can post by using general jQuery Ajax or by using Axios. Because we need to submit to API, we need an Axios method. Okay. Now, how do we design the form? So what we have to do, we have to create a constant. What is it? Formic is equal to use formic. Use formic have options. What are those options? So initial values. Initial values. What are the initial values? I hope we already created one registration form. Na? Let's copy that to save the time. Where in components, Axios, in Axios demo, we are just fetching. I think we done that in jQuery Ajax demo here. Yeah. In this jQuery Ajax demo, we designed a registration form. In that already, here we are using jQuery Ajax, but here we will use, these are the initial values. Copy and put those initial values in iShop register. Okay, these are the initial values. Fine. Let's copy the design also, because the interface is same. Na? On submit, we will post later that here we have to copy this logic form, copy this entire form. Okay, and put that in this, because the same form we have to design. I will paste that form there. So use error is not yet there. That is related to error handling. Right. So everything fine. That means on submit, we on key up, verify user ID is also not there. That we will design later. All others are same, right? So values, user ID, password, username, age, mobile, and subscription. Subscription is coming from a checkbox. Okay, all are formic related options only. Now we need to do one more work here. What we have to do is we have to just use on submit. On submit, we have to collect the values. We have to collect the values, and what we have to do, we have to post the values into API. That means for that we can use Axios. Axios dot which method post. Into that, what is the URL? URL is http:// localhost 4000 only na /register user. That is our API method, comma, into that data. Data is values. Whatever values you collected, that is. Values is an object which contains all these details. Right? That is simple on post. Now let's go to our API. So in server folder, we have our API. That API is collecting all these details. And we have to start the API. Right? So we need to start the API. I will use, cd server and node API.js. Server started, fine. Now let's check this here on register, iShop register. What is there? Acha. The formic is imported from some other location. It should be from where? Formic. Oh, formic, right. Fine. Now I go to the register. This is home, and I go to new user register. The registration form will come. So we are having the register form. And in this, user will enter all the details. While entering itself, we can verify the user ID taken or not, which already we done. Right? You can implement that logic here by writing one more key up event, right, for the text box. But once registered successfully, what should happen on submit? On submit, after posting the data, when we will put an alert saying that registered successfully. After that, we will use navigate. Okay. Oh, this navigate is not there. We haven't declared. We will declare that. So let navigate is equal to use navigate. It will use that navigate. Now what we will do on submit, we will navigate to the path slash what login. After registered successfully, it will navigate to the login page. That means it is navigating dynamically to that location. That's what I told you earlier, that we will dynamically navigate after that, right? So it's fine. Now it is done. Now let's enter the details. Localhost 4000 / get users. It is already having 3 users information. Okay, is having 3 users information. Let's register another user. I'm using like some Tom underscore some 2020. Okay, some say Tom Hanks something. Password some Tom at the net 11. Age some 25. Mobile some mobile 112 something. Yeah. Subscription yes or no you can choose, and click on register. That means it says register successfully, and okay, then it goes to login. Now in this login screen, we have to design the login, right? And here itself, actually in the register, generally we have an habit of making it more user friendly. That means we have a register, and with that next line, so we will keep a link, and this link to, we will put / login and say already have account, right? This question we will ask. That means in this, they will have an option already have account. At the bottom, they click, they go to login, right? That is general tradition that we can just say from register, they can go to login if already they have account. Now register successful, then login will come. Now here we have to enter the details. That means now we have to verify now. We have to design the login screen. You know how to do it now. So let's go to the iShop login now. And in iShop login, we have to create again the same concept. So we need a form, right? We need to create a form, and form contains a data list, data term. Here we will give user ID and a text box. So input type is equal to text. And here another data term is password. Only these two are required to login. So input type is equal to password. That is done. And we will just keep a button below, say login. Login is a button. So class name BTN and BTN primary. Okay. And here I will put a break, and we will put a link, and that link is coming from browser router. Yeah. And here I will say new user, right? And here we will put link to / what register. If new user, it will go to register. Register will get to register form and already have an account login. Right now in this, I have to verify the user ID and password. User ID and password. And here, see, I will enter user ID and password on login click. We have to do that. We have to verify from this database. That means one more user is there. We have to verify from the database. Register, everything happened successful, right? We have to verify that already we have the logic for this now. That means again, I have to import. So import, so use formic use formic from formic. Okay. So now what we have to do is we have to import use state actually, and we need to fetch the data on loading, right? We have to use effect also required. Then we need to do here a constant. So here we will define users and set users use state, and it is an array. Okay. And we have constant formic, so is equal to use formic. And here we have initial values. So initial values, it is having an object, and that initial values are only two details: user id empty, and another one is password. These two are there. And on submit, again on submit we have to collect the values. After collecting the values, we need to verify them. We will do that. So that means here what we have to do. So here we need to define on change formic dot handle change oh, change. Okay. And here, so value is formic dot values dot user id is the value. Similarly here value is formic dot values dot password on change is equal to formic dot handle change. That's it. And on submit we have to use form on submit is equal to formic dot handle submit. On this we have to collect all the users data and verify with that data. That means what we have to do, the logic here. So we have to use Axios again. Again we need to use Axios import. So Axios from Axios. Okay. Now here we have to use Axios dot get from which location you can configure, right? Get from which location use. That means you have to get from http:// localhost 4000/get users. After that we have to use then what we will get, response, right? And here we have to do response is an object. It's an array. We have to verify whether it is matching or not with the username and password. So what we have to do on response? So response is not directly data, actually set users. Understood? Set users, we have to set response dot data. The user's information will be stored. After storing the user's information, now we have to verify. That means now the user's information is stored here, right? Now I have to verify that user is matching or not. The user is matching or not. Here very important is actually I can do this on initialization. Understood? That means what we can here itself we can do, but I want the user's information to get ready at the time of loading the component so that later I can verify. So this we will remove, and where we will write that, we will write here on we will write use effect, right? We will configure use effect. On use effect, what we do here, we have to make this happen. Okay. That means fetch that information and load it. Now what we will do on submit, we will verify the users. That means for var, what is that? So user of what is the collection users. So for every user in the users, we have to verify if users, if a user dot user ID, right? If it is matching with values user ID, then login success. That means what we have to do if login success, here we have to use another one, use navigator. That means I need to declare one more. So let navigate is equal to use navigate. That means if login is successful, that means user ID and user ID should match, and user dot password. User dot password is matching with values dot password. If both are matching, user ID and password are matching, then navigate. Navigate to which path? / dashboard. Am I right? It should navigate to dashboard. Otherwise, else it should navigate in this iShop index. Already you have the paths, and here I will define a route. Okay, and a route, I will say route path. So route path is what? Error page. That is what I given in login, error page. If it is error page, what should happen? It should render an element. And you learned yesterday that directly we can render an element. Na? I will just directly render a div. In this, what I will do is I will put a heading. So invalid credentials. Invalid credentials. So this I will give here class name. So I will give as text danger like this. Invalid credentials. And here I will put another link. That means I am creating a link. This link should to /login. And I say try again. This is directly rendering some element on error page. Rendering some element on error page. It should navigate to that error page here. That means here we are accessing the home. I am existing user, login, and I will enter the login credentials. Who? Suppose David underscore, what is it? It's not typing. Some value mismatch. Informic, I hope, initial values. On change. Okay, fine. On change we have defined. Right. So here we are entering the details, right? What are the details we have? What is it? David underscore, what is it? 2022, and password is something wrong. Then it should say invalid credentials. Okay, David underscore 2022. What is his credentials? Password is David at the net 123. So David at the net 123. Then login. Let's say David 2022. Values are not taken, I think. So we need to bind the value first here. Where we went wrong? Values. Value. What is the value? Yeah. Formic dot values dot user ID. Value formic dot values dot password. It is unable to enter. What is some value binding problem is there? Check this. Anywhere we missed. Acha, we don't have a name defined. Name. What is the name for this? It is user ID. And what else? Name here. This name is what? Password. Okay, fine. Okay. David at the net 123 login. So some error page is coming. Acha. So here let's go. If it is matching, it should break. We written in a loop. We are writing in a loop, right? So after the dashboard, what it should be? Break. Let's check here. So we are using David 2022, David at the net 123. That's fine, right? We are using a iterator now. We are not breaking that. That's the point. This is how we can manage the login. Now, very important here is after I log in, I need to show who logged in into my dashboard, username. Then you know what to do now. What? Cookies. Additionally, you have to use the cookies. If anybody tries to access the dashboard directly, it should not open. That means now we need to define in the login screen, we have to use one more concept. What is import? Use cookies from cookie, right? How to configure a cookie? Remember that? So to configure a cookie, we need one is cookies, another one is set cookie, another one is remove cookie, right? These we need. So use cookies. We have to configure that, right? That means we need cookies, set cookie, and remove cookie. So when user ID and password are correct, before navigating to dashboard, we have to set cookie. What is the cookie name? Cookie name is user ID. And what is the value? Value is nothing but user dot user ID. That is the value we have to define. That means now the cookie is set, right? Okay. After the cookie is set, we will verify whether the cookie is set or not. Let's go to home page, inspect, and let's go to application. In that cookies, so in the cookies, currently no cookie is there. That means existing user login David and David at the net 123 login. So and the cookie is created here. Now in dashboard, you have to collect the cookie and display, right? And what I told you one simple logic, right? If cookie is not there, then I should redirect him to login. That means what we have to do now, let's go to our dashboard page. Here I need to access the cookie. So import use cookies from React cookie. And here what we will do, we will put a state also, na? So import, so state, use state, so from React state, and we will use effect also, huh? So use effect. Okay, here we will configure constant, so cookies, and set cookie, another one, remove cookie. And what we have to do, use cookies. Okay, another constant is user ID, set user ID. It's not required actually, use state, huh? So that is defined now. Now what should happen? So on effect, right? So use effect, here we have to access the cookies and store in user ID. That means, so what we have to do, set user ID. Set user ID must be coming from where? Cookies. Cookies, cookies of what is that? Cookies only. How do we get the cookie? We need to access the cookies. Here, cookies of username, user ID. That is the user ID. Here we have to display that user ID, right? What we have to do, user ID. Is it displayed? Some problem. What is it? Cookies is not a function. Where is it? Cookies of, yeah, right? Cookies of, what is it? User ID. It will get that user ID and display, right? That is, it is showing who logged in, it is displaying. If user ID is not there, that means I can give a sign out option here. Sign out option, how do we define? So we will put a option here, another, we will put a button. Okay, class name, btn link. I will give like a link. I will give as sign out. That means it looks like a sign out option. And when user clicks on sign out, it should remove the cookie and go to login, right? Then what should happen? We have to write logic. What is it? Handle function. What is it? Handle sign out. Handle sign out. What it should do? It should remove the cookie. So that means what we have to define, remove cookie, and the cookie name. Cookie name is user ID. User ID, and I have to navigate. One more we need. What is it? Import. So import use navigate from React router DOM, and let navigate is equal to use navigate. And here I have to navigate to which location? Slash login. That means after sign out again, it should go to login, right? That is handle sign out on click is equal to handle sign out. That's how we need to manage. Now it is ready. I click on sign out, then it will go to login. Now the cookie is removed actually, right? That means in the application, you can see the cookie is no longer there. Right now I entered with some Tom 2020, and here Tom at the net 12, and login invalid credentials. What is his password? Tom 11. Okay. So Tom 2020, Tom @11 login. Then Tom is signed in. And the cookie is also created here. Now what happens when I click on sign out? Then it will remove that cookie and go to login. And now important part, if he directly tries to access dashboard, it should not come. Already we learned the technique now. So I told you a concept. What we do, use effect here. What we will do here is we will verify if what is it? Cookies of what is it? User ID is equal to undefined, right? Undefined. If it is equal to undefined, means cookie is not there. Then what should happen? Navigate to which location? Login. Else we have to set the cookie. That means we need to access the cookie and use it. If not there, go to login. That means you can see here. So I will go here, home, and you try clicking on dashboard. When I click on dashboard, it says login. So dashboard is not visible to everybody. Until or unless he logs in, he cannot see the dashboard. That means he logs in with David @123 and login. Now he can see the dashboard. And he can go back home and come to dashboard again. It is there. Right? I go back home, but suddenly cookie is removed because we can manually remove cookies now. Right? Suddenly the cookie is removed. He haven't signed out, but we deleted his cookie, right? We cleaned history, we deleted the cookie. If I deleted that cookie and when he comes to dashboard again, it goes to login. Because cookie is not available, automatically navigate to login. This is a simple authentication. That means we created a simple screen where user cannot access anything until or unless he logs in. Right? That is a simple authentication mechanism. Right? This is a perfect single page application. Now in the dashboard, you can give all the information from where he can navigate. Here we have registration, we have login, we have sign out, and we created the path in such a way that it is not accessible to everybody. That is a simple, complete concept of end-to-end. This is end-to-end with our own database, with our own server-side API, and front-end React. That is a complete end-to-end integration of the concept. So now in this, lot of things are there. So several more things are there. How route parameters are used, how we can transport the parameters, collect the parameters, how search strings are used, how nested routes are used. We can start building that interface now. That we'll see next session. This entire concept I will upload, means entire code I will upload. You try this, right? Then we will go into the next level, right? So what I will do is, I will do one thing. I will upload this folder zip file, iShop folder zip file. Only that folder, not entire project. You can open those JS files and put in your project. Okay, I will upload that. So we will see that in next session, Monday again, right? Tomorrow no session, right? Again Monday we will do that, right? In Monday session we'll continue.